Hey, what's up everybody? Well, I've had a few requests to make walk around videos, and you know, I haven't been in the air tractor in several months because I'm not working it right now. But I'll tell you what I am doing right now is I'm flying this Garrett Parrot AgCat across the Rocky Mountains down the south side. I picked it up in Sacremento, California, and I'm flying it to northeast Arkansas. A little bit of a trip in this bird because it's not very fast. It's cold, and I can only do about 150 nautical mile legs, so that's about I don't know, 12 fuel stops probably total. After 2 solid hours, I'm super nervous in this plane because I've only got 30 minutes left, which out here, you know, I'm unfamiliar with this area. I don't want to be flying around 30 minutes left if I don't have to, you know. And also, I don't know this plane very well because I just picked it up a couple days ago. I don't know how accurate the fuel gauge is, so we're just not gonna find out the hard way. So what this is a G164-B model AgCat. So the B model over the A, it's got longer wings on it. This one's got a raised wing. They raised the top wing probably 10 inches, I think, or 9 inches, something like that. It's got a bigger tail than an A model, I think. Single piece windshield. There's probably some other stuff. I don't know AgCats all that well. Well, what I'll do, I'll give you a little tour of the cockpit. Now, this is probably the most uncomfortable ag plane on the market. As you can tell, I actually had to take the cushion off the back of the seat and put it there because it shoved me so far forward. It was going to cause problems, and I don't want to have to go to a chiropractor again. So basically what we got here, pretty rudimentary seat. It's probably about the same thing you'd find in a World War II fighter plane. You know, this airplane was designed by the same team that designed the Hellcat and the Bearcat and all the other cats from World War II. They designed this plane after all that, and they did a good job. It's a very strong plane. So anyway, well, there's the seat. Small cockpit. I hang my helmet up there with some wire. The cockpit's got an open canopy on the top because you have to get in this plane like a kayak. So you literally have to like slip down through it like this and slide your feet in like a Formula One car. I wish it was as fast as a Formula One car. Anyway, so over here we got, this is your private band radio right there. I've got my handheld because this plane does not have a radio in it. I got my Stratus right there to help me fly around in this area that I don't know. Over here we've got most of our engine switches and stuff like that. Strobe lights on the top left. This is the fuel solenoid, so that's how you turn the engine on. So whenever you're spinning it up, you turn your igniters on, you open the fuel solenoid by pressing it up, and it just starts spitting fuel in the engine. And to shut the engine off, you press that switch down, which that's why there's a cover over it, so you don't accidentally press that switch down. Next to that's the igniters, and the reason why we're sitting here on the ground right now and I'm not flying is because the box that controls the igniters went out yesterday. I couldn't start the motor. So I've been stuck here, and that part should be coming in this morning, hopefully. We've got auxiliary power. You flip that up if you're using a boost cart like a GPU. The UNF, that's the unfeathering pump. So this has got a Garrett TPE 331-1 turbine on it. And as you can see, the prop is not feathered on these because they're a direct drive, direct mechanical linkage from the compressor to the propeller, unlike, you know, your PT6s and your free spinning turbines. So if this engine quits, the propeller will feather. And if you need it unfeathered to start it up again, you got to run that unfeathering pump, and it pushes the blades back out flat like that until they're on their locks and they get stuck like that, and then you can start the motor. And next to that's nav lights. We got our flagman, which that's old, that's not here anymore. Air conditioning compressor, got all the breakers right there. Moving up to the dash, we got our oil pressure, oil temperature, and fuel pressure right there. We got our voltmeter, hobs. There's the exhaust temperature. So this turbine does not have the internal temperature sensor. It has an exhaust temperature sensor. We got all our special lights up here. Like these two are extremely important. Really, that chip light's important. That'll tell you if your engine's making metal. That tells you when you're in the beta range of the propeller. Tells you your starter's on. That's your supplemental fuel something or other that you spit extra fuel in the engine when it's starting. You got to switch for that. I'll show you that in a minute, but that tells you it's on. That tells you your igniters are on. That's the sat lock screen, the GPS interface right there. That's an M3, or a Bantam actually. We got our torque is in PSI on Garrett's, and also in Thrushes. I don't know if it's an airframe or an engine thing, but it's in PSI. A good rule of thumb for these Garrett's is about 1 PSI is 1 gallon per hour of fuel burn. So if you're pulling 40 PSI, you're burning 40 gallons per hour. It's about average. This is the speed of the turbine in percentage. I bet you in RPM, the turbine's probably spinning 30,000 plus. It's a small one, maybe even closer to 40,000 on this. Big old reduction between that and the propeller. That's the boom pressure for when you're spraying, your airspeed indicator right there. Altimeter. Over here, got our master switch. Flop that, you know, turn everything on right there. You got your generator. This is the fuel boost pump, and this is the first AdCat I've ever been in that had a fuel boost pump, because it's all gravity feed. I'm not sure why you'd need a boost pump, but maybe in rough air, I don't really know. That's the starter. You flip that up to start it. This is the SPR. So on these turbine Garrett's, sometimes during the starting process, you have to watch the NG, and if it stops coming up and kind of hangs in one spot, you bump this SPR, which shoots raw fuel in the motor, which gets the turbine to spinning faster, but it also shoots this temperature way up. And if you can see, we got 2 red lines here. We got a operating red line and a starting red line. So it can get a lot harder in the starting process than it can while you're running it. Well, so anyway, this has got a Kawak throttle quadrant, and in the Garrett's, it's just, there's no prop lever because the prop spins 2,000 RPM all the time. It never slows down until you pull this lever back after you get on the ground. So before you take off, this is your high and low speed idle. Low speed idle on this Garrett's about 70% throttle, or I mean 70% RPM. So the prop's spinning, I don't know, 1,500 RPM when you're in low. So you push that up to full, your prop spins up 2,000 RPM. Now you're ready to give it the juice and take off. The Garrett's it's kind of a special thing. I don't know of a lot of single engine Garrett airplanes, because what happens is with that prop not slowing down at all, when you pull the power back to land, you've got a big old fat disc up there spinning really fast, blocking a whole bunch of air over the tail. And it's a different experience landing these planes with the Garrett in the single engine. Down here next to my seat, this is where your butt would be, legs going that way. I don't know what that is, actually. I do know what that is. So that controls the pitch of my air-driven chemical pump. More pitch means faster speed, means higher pressure on that. This is pulled all the way out, so it's all the way feathered, and I've got it wired up. We've got your fertilizer handle right here, and then your spray handle right here, and these both move forward. And in the AdCat, they're both in the same place, and they move the same direction. It's really easy to grab the wrong handle. So what we've done is we got, you know, a little handle end right here, and whichever one you're going to be using, you just slide it on there and you put your pin in. So if you're going to be doing spray, you slide it on that one. If you're going to be doing dry, you slide it over here onto this one, and you work the handle like that. If you don't do that and you got 2 handles right there, it is guaranteed that you will grab that dump handle going through the field, dump your entire chemical load in the field 10 foot off the ground. And if you're not prepared for that, it could ruin your day. And so these are a lot different. You know, this plane's got flying wires everywhere. It's got tail wires everywhere. Good, strong, rock solid aircraft design, though. I mean, this bad dude has been rode hard, put up wet. And this one actually has been refurbished. It's a really nice one, which is one of the reasons why I agreed to ferry it as far as I am ferrying it. Because I'm not going to lie, it's not a real comfortable flight for me, because this isn't the kind of flying that I do. I'm VFR only, and I had a great weather window. Unfortunately, the plane broke twice, and so I'm about to miss my window if I don't get going today. I'm not really sure what my plan's going to be after that, because Patrick doesn't fly in the mountains in high winds, and we got a front about to come through. So anyway, guys, I hope this was what y'all were looking for, and sorry it's not the 802, but this is just what I'm in right now. And you guys wish me luck, and I'll be back home shortly. I'll start making more videos on the air tractor.